So I came in to the picture, started speaking Arabic, and she's probably shocked. She's like, what is happening right now? And so what she did was she picked up her daughter and she walked away, and she said, if you're going to call the police, I'm going to call the police. But she hurriedly exited my doorway.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another episode of the Half a Nice Day podcast with your host, Joshua.
And Janine.
And today, we are joined by such a special guest.
Such a cutie guest.
I think the cutest guest we've ever had in the show.
Hands
Definitely
down.
the brownest
Yes.
one we ever had.
And the sleepiest.
Sleepiest, the most laziest person ever. Another guest who is a full breed, actually. No half.
Yeah.
I mean, I really don't know.
She's not a half.
She's not a half.
She's a full breed.
Full breed.
Poodle.
Toy poodle. And 3 years old, if I'm right.
Yes.
Right?
She's the youngest guest we've had.
Oh, you are the youngest guest.
In dog years.
In dog years, of course. And definitely the most silent one. I don't know how much we'll get to speak to her.
Is there anything that you'd like to tell our guests, our listeners, Zoe?
Is there anything that I'm missing, Zoe? She really likes duck meat and not a big fan of water, but when she drinks water, it's like nonstop. So it's with great pleasure that I would like to introduce Zoe.
Yay! Yay, Zoe!
Zoe, welcome to the show. How are you doing?
Oh, there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
She woke up a little, but she just adjusted herself.
Okay.
She's not
okay.
having
So
it.
Zoe also has an official Instagram.
She does.
Right?
It's Zoe Poodle, I think.
Zoe the toy poodle.
Yes.
So you can follow her on all her social media. She does post a lot. A lot of times she's very, very social, I would say.
It's Zoe Toy Poodle.
Zoe Toy Poodle.
No, it's Zoe.
Oh, it's Zoe Toy Poodle.
Correct. Yes.
Oh, who manages your account, Zoe?
Lana.
Nice.
Yeah, but she hasn't posted in a while. Lana, come on.
Oh, no.
Her pictures are super cute though. So for those who are wondering, no, it's not our dog. We wish. It is my good friend Lana's dog, and she's on vacation right now, so we are babysitting Zoe.
Yeah.
And for today, she is one of our guests. Although she's not going to speak a lot. She's just going to stay next to me.
It's okay. What she lacks in conversation, she makes up for in cuteness. So thank you for being on our show. Thank you for agreeing. It was very hard to get you here, but we pulled some strings. We spoke to different people, and you are here. You are here. So welcome to the show. So the dynamic is Janine and I will be talking random stuff. You know it. And but today's episode is actually quite special because we do have another question that was sent to us.
Yes.
By one of our listeners.
Yes.
But before we get there, I want to speak about something that happened recently, which is still annoying me till this date and has really, really made me fume.
Okay.
Because of the way I was treated in this manner.
Okay.
And the way Janine was also treated in this manner. So basically, I'll just to give some background to what happened. Janine and we were having a stay-at-home date night, if you will, because I'm cheap and of course inflation is going up, guys, so you have to try to still make your romantic life exciting, and we did that by watching, of course, no other than
the most romantic movie you can watch.
Exactly. But he's a hunk. He is quite a hunk.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves, and we watched the full John Wick trilogy.
Yes.
And guys, I can understand now why having Zoe in our presence that I would literally kill half of UAE to avenge my dog's
murder. Yes.
Not that I'm never gonna let anything happen to you, Zoe, don't worry, but this is just like a warning to people outside.
She doesn't care.
I know she doesn't look like she cares, but one day she will, and
Okay.
she will understand.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just actually finished watching the whole movie.
Mm-hmm.
We actually finished the third part, and lo and behold, Janine falls asleep, of course. Standard. I really had to wake her up in the cool scenes and stuff, but she does eventually fall asleep. The movie ended and she's gone to bed. But I'm just like, stay at home dad, if you will.
Okay.
Yeah. Stay at home dad. I was just doing the chores, throwing out the garbage, cleaning up, washing dishes. And at 1 a.m., I hear the doorbell ring. And it's very weird. But before that, I was just asking Janine, hey, did the laundry guy ever come back with our folded clothes and our iron stuff? And she's like, no, but he said that he would be coming either today or tomorrow. So I'm thinking, okay, that doorbell must have been the laundry guy. But I'm like, this is so weird because it is 1 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
I think I'm missing a critical part of that, actually. So just to backtrack a little bit, I'm working from home still, guys, so I still have that benefit. And we get Amazon packages like literally every day.
Yeah.
Especially this was the time after Prime
Day.
So we ordered a lot of stuff as usual. We just stocked up on the essentials and took advantage of all those sweet deals. And so 3 boxes came in. And I opened the first box and it was my items. So I'm like, okay, cool. And I wonder what is in the other 2 boxes. So I opened the second box and it was like a storage kind of thing, which is transparent. Like a storage box basically, but it's transparent. So I'm like, okay, maybe Janine got this. I have no idea. And then I opened the third box and there was some weird stuff in it. So like the first thing I saw when I opened the box was a dog brush. And this is before we actually had Zoe, and this is the time when we were thinking about fostering or adopting a dog. So I'm like, oh, is Janine surprising me with getting a dog, or are we taking some precautions when it comes to having a canine in the house? But then I went through it a little bit more, and then there was like a DIY kind of like a necklace making kit. So it like for children where you'd like put the beads and you put all the letters and stuff. And I'm like, okay, this is weird. And then I see like a whole stock like of cat food. I'm like, okay, this is definitely not for us. So I look at the package again and it was addressed to someone else's name. And there was no apartment number,
Correct.
No mobile number. The building name was completely different. I mean, one of the words was the same in the building, but the second part, it was just like whatever. So it was clearly like some misdelivery.
Misplaced, yeah.
And then I'm like, okay, fine. Then I just messaged Janine and said, hey, can you inform the watchman in case he knows whoever's name this is in the building, and maybe you can just pass it over. And Janine comes home. We started watching John Wick. So we actually forgot to message the security guard. So we messaged him around 11?
Yeah, closer to 11 p.m.
Closer to 11. I'm like, we sent him the picture of the box and the name. And the name is like, hey, do you know who this is? And maybe you can give it back to them. He says, oh yeah, I know this person. I'll come and collect the boxes from you, and I'll give it to the rightful owner. And we're like, okay, cool. And then Janine, then he comes into the place. He comes to our apartment. He takes the boxes and I told him like, I apologize because I opened it, so you can just convey that message back to the person who rightfully owns the stuff. And he's like, okay, cool, no problem. And that's that. Like nothing, like that whole scenario was out of our mind almost immediately after that whole situation. And one thing I forgot to mention, there was our apartment number handwritten on the box. So I'm thinking Amazon must have figured out, okay, this person is ordering a lot, so this might be for this apartment. So someone, maybe their logistics department, must have handwritten our apartment number on the box.
Yeah, I guess because we've been ordering a lot lately, and we're probably one of the most the ones who gets the most orders from Amazon within our building. So Amazon decided to handwrite our apartment number. Or
maybe we had ordered at the same time and they thought, okay, maybe it's
all together.
Something like that. Yeah. And not that we order literally every day, guys, but we just
it was Prime Day.
And we moved in, so we do have quite a few Amazon.
I guess I'll have that picture of the boxes from the door.
Oh yeah,
you can include it here.
It's like moving boxes literally came in. And so that was that. Janine went to sleep. I was doing the dishes, and then the doorbell rings.
Yeah. And
I open a door and I see a lady and her daughter. Janine will get into a little bit detail because she also had an experience after I. But what happened is she's like, hi, did you open these boxes? So this lady asked. And I'm like, oh yes, sorry, I did. I thought this order, this delivery was for me, and I opened it, and I realized it wasn't. So I called the watchman, and I told him to take the box and maybe deliver it to the person who actually ordered it. And she's like, yeah, this is my box, but I just want to know why you opened it. And then she started getting a little bit more aggressive, and I'm like, wait a second. And I told her, like, do you know what time it is? Like, just out of curiosity, like, do you know what time it is? And then she immediately skipped that answering that question, and she went back to saying, is this your name? I'm like, no, this is not my name, but if you can see here, this is my apartment. So naturally I opened it, and of course we got a lot of deliveries in this day today itself, and I decided to just open all of them. I don't have to manually check each box one by one. That, of course, that's, no one ever does that, I guess. If you get that, you get it. And then she started getting angry, saying, yeah, I just got off the call with Amazon. I've been fighting with them the whole day. They never delivered my package. There's cat food inside here. And
My cat
has been crying the whole day. And I'm like, lady. No, in my mind, okay, I didn't say this part because I was already getting pissed off, but I didn't want to offend her anymore. But in my mind, I'm like thinking, there's a West Zone. There's a supermarket right below our building. If your cat is in that dire need of food, take the elevator down, go to the supermarket, or even call them. They will bring it up without any problems. They'll even bring a card machine to make your life easier. And then she starts getting really a lot more aggressive. She started yelling at this point, if I remember correctly. She's not yelling, but her tone was so high. Clearly, all the neighbors on our floor could hear what she was talking about. And she's like,
and by this time, I was already awake.
Yeah, so this is the time then Janine wakes up.
Yeah.
And then Janine takes over. So you can take over from this part.
Yeah, so the sad part was she was with her, and you forgot to say this, she was with her daughter. Her daughter was probably like 7, 8 years old.
For sure.
And her daughter was just standing there all throughout this altercation of her mom screaming and yelling about her Amazon package being delivered to our apartment and how come we opened her package, yada yada yada. So first I was super pissed because I woke up, from the living room, waking up after missing John Wick. And then all I could hear was just this lady in my doorstep at 1 a.m.
You thought you were dreaming, right?
I thought I was dreaming. I'm like, is
she
this
literally
real life?
woke up because her voice was so coarse. It was like literally morning voice. Like,
yes.
"Hey, what happened?"
I was like, excuse me, what's happening? Like, and I thought I was dreaming. And then she started talking, saying, how come you opened my package? So I asked her calmly, I'm like, do you understand what time it is? And although it was the weekend, I just said that I had work the next day. And I said, do you know I have work the next day? Couldn't you have just waited for tomorrow to talk about this? And I think you should just be thankful that we actually surrendered your package back to the watchman, and we didn't take anything, and we sent it back to you. Unfortunately, there wasn't any apartment number on your box, so we didn't know who to give it to, so we had to give it to the watchman. She just kept on yapping and yapping for like 10 minutes, perhaps.
Easily.
And I was getting embarrassed already because I'm very, very sure that a lot of our neighbors were already hearing this because the walls are not so thick. And she was...
And this is in a corridor anyway. So.
Yeah, and it's in the corridor, so I'm sure a lot of people. So my voice was starting to raise as well. And then it hit me that she's Arab. So I started speaking in Arabic. And
No. So before you got to that, Janine was like, I'm going to call the police.
Yeah, so I told her in English. I'm like, if
you better leave. It's 1 a.m.
Okay. Not like that. I just told her, please don't yell at my doorstep, and with your daughter as well. Like, be ashamed of yourself.
Have you no shame?
And have you no shame bringing your daughter at this time, yelling at strangers? Is this the example that you want to set for your daughter? And I just felt so bad for her daughter. She was just looking up like as if she doesn't understand what is happening. Why is her mom yelling? And so I told her, I'm going to call the police if you don't step out of my doorway. And she started getting aggressive again. And she was talking to Josh as well. And then, so I told Josh, could you please get my phone and start calling police? And then I realized she's Arabic. And
Yeah, so I leave at this point
yes.
because when I tried to speak to her, she wouldn't. She would now ignore me and say, "I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to your wife."
Yes.
So I'm like,
I was about to reply saying, not yet. Fiance,
not yet, but we
okay,
are
sure.
getting married in January. Please come
Okay,
in.
sure.
Do you want an invite? So yeah, so Janine's like, Josh, get my phone. We're gonna call the police. And I will go and try to find Janine's phone. And at this point, she switches to Arabic.
Yeah,
so you can go.
Switch to Arabic, and I told her, like, seriously, if you don't leave. So I said anjad. For those who know Arabic, anjad is like seriously, like in all seriousness. Like, I'm really, really serious. If you don't leave, I'm gonna call the police. I said that in Arabic. And she looks at me like she was shocked that I could speak Arabic, and probably kicked into her senses that, oh gosh, she is Arab. And for those who don't live in Dubai, usually like Arab to Arab, there is some like sense of respect and outside of that realm. And that's what I felt from her, because Josh opened the door and of course he doesn't look Arab and he's tattooed, and she started yelling, and she thought that because he's from a different sort of nationality that she could just work her Arabness way into this guy. So I came in to the picture, started speaking Arabic, and she's probably shocked. She's like, what is happening right now? And so what she did was she picked up her daughter and she walked away, and she said, if you're going to call the police, I'm going to call the police. But she hurriedly exited my doorway and never heard from her again. I told her to pick up her boxes and she said she didn't want to. So the pettiness in me asked Josh to bring the boxes in, because I felt that she would come in later that morning to pick up her things. And after, the altercation, after her causing so much trouble, I said, I'm not going to give her her package that easily. She needs to come back, ring my doorbell, and perhaps, give an apology, or else I won't be giving her package back. Nevertheless, she never came back. We threw her package away. Never heard from her, never even passed her through the halls. I called the security guard because I felt that he was also in between this whole altercation, and poor guy, he was also yelled and screamed at. And he said he was very apologetic, and he said that unfortunately this woman has caused a lot of troubles within the building already, and a lot of other apartment owners or renters have also had altercations with her. So yeah, just this girl is something else.
So I couldn't sleep that night, guys. I have to be really honest with you. I was just thinking of a million ways how I can seek revenge. Like, I don't know, like poop on like a bag and throw it at her door or something. But I was really pissed. I was very, very, very pissed. And it's hard for me to get pissed because I'm actually quite a patient guy. But things like this, when they happen, like I think Janine was the first time like she saw like I was actually raising my voice and started to get a little bit annoyed.
I was just gonna say, like, it's one of the first scenarios where I've actually seen Josh mad, like truly, truly mad, and I could hear it from his voice. I could see from his body language, and so this is why I asked him, like, Josh, just take my phone, and because at that time I was surprisingly the more calm person in this, because usually I would be the one I would be yapping my way, but I think it's because I was in a state of shock. I just woke up. I don't know what's happening. I'm drowsy. And at the end of the day, all I could think of was that little girl, like her daughter, and how I wanted to try and be the calm person between her and myself, because I wanted to show the kid that this is not the way that you should respond to certain type of situations where your mom is actually going crazy. But it's unfortunate. And until now, like, whenever I look back at that crazy situation, because I've never experienced something like that, all I could think of is that little girl. And I just pray that she doesn't grow up as how her mom is, and she actually sees that this is not the way to live life, and hopefully she learns from her mom's mistakes.
Yeah.
It's
really sad though. I don't know why I just thought of the documentary we just watched. So I hope it doesn't result in a situation like that. Exactly. So we just finished watching what? I Just Killed My Dad?
Yeah, I think that's the title. I Just Killed My Dad with Anthony
Jeselnik.
No, Temple.
Temple, yeah.
Yeah. Template.
Template. Yeah. You guys can watch it. It's just like 3 episodes. It's a docu-series on Netflix about a guy who just woke up one day and shot his dad. I mean, of course, there was a
That's
past.
the story.
That's the main story. But yeah, once you dive into that rabbit hole, there's
a lot of
crazy things happening. Yeah.
To unravel as to why he actually killed his dad. But anyway, it's such a sad.
But the story though, now I'm laughing at it. But in that moment, I was just gonna like, yo, I'm gonna punch a mother in front of her daughter today.
Yeah, you're really.
Yeah, it's like.
And that's not Josh. Like, for me to see him that way, I'm like, whoa, this.
You know what it was?
Woman really triggered
like
something.
If you didn't come, it'll be like the John Wick situation when he's in the Continental. He knows if he shoots this guy, he's gonna break the rules. But John Wick is like, I've had enough.
Yeah.
Shoots him. So, yeah.
No, but this girl was really disrespectful. This woman, actually.
Yeah.
The way that she spoke to Josh, it was just degrading. It was like, yeah. It was blatant. For me, it was blatant racism because she knew that, she could pull the Arab card in her.
I pulled the Arab fiance card and that trumps it.
And I was like a Pokemon card and he's like, haha, I have an Arab fiance. Here you go.
Yes.
And I got out of the Pokeball.
She's like, what do I do?
Like Charizard,
What is my strongest power? Arabic, yes. That is the one I'm going to attack you with.
And yeah, it actually got her. She got scared with my Arabic.
It was so funny. Me, like a 6-foot tatted, jacked gentleman, opens the door and she yells at Janine, like a 5'2" petite girl, literally in pangbahay clothes and like house clothes, comes up to the door and just like Arabic, and then she's like, whoa I surrender, yo. Take this Amazon box. You know what, I don't need it.
You know what, take whatever.
What, am I not that intimidating?
Yeah.
Like if I open a door and someone's about to fight and I open a door, you wouldn't be like, yo, sorry, wrong apartment. Oh, this is not. Oh no, I was looking at the other apartment.
I don't know,
because you know what, I always think, some case of road rage. I'm driving, this guy's like, yo, I had enough. Pulls up to the front of my car, slams the brakes. I have to brake. He gets out of the car and I get out of the car and he sees me, like, tatted up guy, decent size arms, beard. This guy will be like, yo, whoa, guy, sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. I don't want any altercation. I'll just be on my way. And I'll be like, move on, man, before you get yourself into trouble.
Okay.
Do you think that'll happen, like, if you see me?
No,
like I have a bad boy exterior. You have to admit. So like, this guy will take one look at me and like, this guy is tatted up. I don't want to be on his bad side.
No, because tattoos do not signify being a badass anymore. Everyone's tatted up.
That is true, actually.
Yeah. Sorry to burst your bubble.
Yeah. But the best are these guys who look like complete nerds.
Yeah.
Like all those bullying YouTube videos, when this guy's like, I've had enough, and he does like a roundhouse kick. I'm like, how does this jiu-jitsu Pokemon player know how to do all these things?
This is why you need to learn how to do jiu-jitsu, so that you can actually walk the talk.
That is true.
Right?
Or John Wick, my life.
Yeah, but John Wick used to use a lot of jiu-jitsu moves, remember?
That is true.
Yeah.
I think I'll actually get into that lifestyle if you God forbid, but if you pass away, and then I'm just like filled with rage, and I'm like, I need to take my rage out somewhere, and I'm like, I need to learn jujitsu, karate, taekwondo.
So you'll have to wait for me to pass away before you actually do something.
Yeah, because I'm not filled with any rage right now.
You don't have to be filled with rage to start jiu-jitsu. You'll actually be at peace when you do it. It's like yoga.
Do you hear yourself?
Yes.
You'll find peace once you get into a martial art. You think these MMA guys are finding peace in the octagon? No, they're out to kill. They're like, yo, my dad abused me growing up. My mom neglected me.
Do you really think those MMA fighters go out on the streets and just, let hell loose? No, they don't. They don't fight on the streets.
Dustin Poirier, he's a street fighter, right? He used to fight in gangs and stuff.
Before he did that professionally. And if you really are a jiu-jitsu fighter, you won't start the fight in the streets. You know that you'll be able to stop a fight and not start it.
Yeah, that's
It's about pacifying fights and trying to
lock
I know.
A
person.
Only like, yo, you push me to my limit. I'm gonna now maybe just put you in a hold, but I'm not gonna
I'm not gonna punch you. I'm not gonna hurt you, but I'm gonna put you in a hold, and you might
Know your place.
sleep.
Yeah.
That's it.
Okay, I'll tell you this. I know what are the new tattoos now, though. What gets people like scared?
What?
Cauliflower ears.
Yes.
If I came out of the car with cauliflower ears and the guy was like, yo,
yes,
I'm going back to my car. Like
I would be scared.
I could have like a full tattoo bodysuit. Like this guy will think, oh, he's not in the Yakuza. He's just a random guy who has a passion for tattoos. But if I come out and like remove my headphones or something, I don't know why I'm having headphones and I'm driving. Headphones when I'm in the car and I just pull it off. He's like, yo, I didn't mean any trouble.
I agree.
I'll be on my way, right?
Yes.
That's the new tattoo.
Yes, cauliflower ears. I would piss because of me being scared.
Yeah.
If you were in a fight with someone, pick someone who doesn't have cauliflower ears.
Yeah.
Regardless if they're tatted up or not.
Yeah.
And if you end up with a fight with someone with cauliflower ears, pray for your soul.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna die.
Yeah, you're gonna meet your Lord and Maker at that very night.
Exactly.
Wow.
That is a good one.
That is a good one. Yeah, I'm gonna write that down actually. That might be a good bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
You wanna pause this? Guys, just wait for a minute.
Just wait a minute while I write a joke.
Dude, it's been almost 30 minutes of us just yapping about this. We're supposed to have a...
That's our update because we haven't actually recorded in quite a while. So we do have a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But just to cut it a little bit short and maybe just in the interest of time, I'll get straight to the chase. So we got a question sent to us after quite a while actually.
It's a handy advice.
Call it the name. Yes. Handy advice. Bling.
There's no.
No?
We didn't do that.
We have another handy advice for you guys. Bling. No, that's not a thing?
No.
I'm pretty sure we used to do that.
That's happy news of the week.
Happy news of the week. Handy advice. So, of course, guys, you can always reach out to us if you have a question or some feedback, and there's multiple ways to do it. You can either do
tired of this. Oh, now she wants to be with you. Yeah. You can either what?
What do you want?
She's just wagging her.
She's like, shut up.
Yeah, she's like, maybe.
I've had enough.
Maybe stop yapping.
Yeah, I think it's the first time we ever had a walkout on this podcast.
Yeah. Now she's back. Come here, Zoe. Come here.
Just give us some time, Zoe, then we'll feed you. Not that we're not feeding her, guys, but she does want to eat a lot. Okay, so this is our handy advice that was sent to us. And of course, like I was just saying, you can always find a way to reach out to us. We have an email. We have a form if you want to remain anonymous, just like as this person did.
Yeah, so the link to our forms are on our Instagram. What is it called? Insta bio? Link in bio.
Link in bio, yes.
Link in bio. And you'll also find it on YouTube. All of the descriptions of our podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcast, and wherever you listen to your podcast. So it's an anonymous form.
Yes. And if you're feeling adventurous, there's also a voice note option. So you can record a whole voice note.
Yeah.
And send it to us, and we'll be happy to listen to it live on the podcast and answer or riff off whatever you just said.
Yes.
So this was actually submitted to us on our Google Forms, and it was anonymous. Not really anonymous, but this person's name they put is Crab and Corn Soup, which is always
crab and corn soup,
which is always quite nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to read this flawlessly, but I know I'm gonna have a problem somewhere or the other. So it starts off with, "Hi Janine and Josh, hope y'all are doing well and that the Google form is too. Lol. Have always been a silent listener lurker, so I'm still awkward on the whole submission thing. Wishing to the heavens that at most you guys will just find mine a silly experience or food for thought. Like a younger cousin, you're not sure if you're close to deciding to open up. But don't worry, nothing too bad, in brackets, I hope, on my end. So I'm currently in my quarter life crisis, 25, lol, we all are. And have been in a relationship for the past year. Congratulations. Longest to date. Congratulations again. For both me, Filipino, in brackets, and the guy, Indian, I'd say we're pretty well.
It's not your parents.
Dad, you're not 25, okay? So who are you kidding? So we're both the same age. Our experiences in life aren't way too far off, but we do have differing opinions on stuff and interests that I would have probably avoided outright if I had known in the beginning. He's the first person I've ever met and dated organically, since all my previous relationships came from dating apps, meaningful or not. I don't have any limitations on my part I don't have any limitations on my part at the moment, but he does. He has a life with his church, and he has a traditional mom that he's planning to bring back to Dubai earliest at the end of the year. The combination meaning some lies will have to happen to keep the image of a single man, and I find lying in general to be bothersome. Yeah. The public status, though, is not a biggie. Despite that and the differences, we enjoy each other's company and we're both aligned with the concept of taking the relationship as far as we can. And then it mentions, let's see, but the commitment version, lol. So I think that means it's like, we don't know, we haven't defined a relationship, but they're on the stage of, let's see where this goes, basically. But in a commitment version. Not really.
She says almost a year, right?
Yes, longest as well. Not really asking for help, to be honest. I've reconciled myself multiple times and keep coming back to the conclusion that I need to keep going because that's who I am. Doing stuff for the sake of reference. Our relationship, which I am pretty surprised lasted this long, only has the foundation of our mutual interest and mild stubbornness in keeping it alive as much as possible. On my part, though, I can't tell if it's the pessimism I've grown over the years or the attempt at rationalizing, but a big chunk of me is also staying so I can learn more about myself and test my limits, experiencing at the cost of something. I'm basically aware sometimes, painfully so, that what I'm doing isn't really sustainable. We're great, but also not. I don't know if it's toxic because this definitely isn't a forever situation. I just know that he also puts in a lot of effort in, and I'm grateful for, and me for him. The grand old question is, after that wall of context is, what do you think? Learning isn't always easy. Relationships even more so is toughening this one out an option you would or have considered.
You okay?
Yeah, no. I'm just trying to read it as it is. Relationships even more so is toughening this one out an option or would or have considered, especially since there's a weird sort of wall in the horizon. Or is 25 still a young enough age for us to try and potentially fail? I've said this all so that I can hear your thoughts, wisdom of an older siblings figure that I would very much appreciate. Also, just want to apologize now that I've only been a listener ever since you guys started, but will definitely try to watch your episode soon too. Thank you. I also agree. YouTube is a better platform for us. Have a completely nice day, you guys, and congrats to the incoming wedding.
Well,
that was given to us by Crab and Corn Soup. I hope you guys understood it. I know I've been faltering a little bit here and there, but I just wanted to structure the sentence in a way because not putting any hate on the sender, but there were points where I think I had stumbled or I didn't understand the sentence to that of your liking.
Midway, I was like, you want to give the iPad to me and I'll start
you want to read
it? Yeah.
I'm still learning how to read, guys. Sorry.
Well, first of all, thank you so much for sending that very detailed, handy advice section. And thank you so much for your greeting. And for me, Crab and Corn Soup, like one of the things that struck me with the whole thing that she said is that first, the mom of this guy is about to come to Dubai. And their relationship cannot be put out in the open. That's how I understood it, right?
It's like basically the standard Indian setting of a guy not being completely open to his parents, even if he wants to, I guess. And he's gonna definitely lie about his relationship and still portray in his parents' mind that he is still single
because she's not Indian.
Yeah, either that or he mentions that he's in church, so I don't know if it's maybe also a religious thing, because I know when a religion is like a major deciding factor when it comes to Indians marrying another race.
Got it.
Yeah.
And then at one point she started saying that it's not like he doesn't put the effort, he actually does put in the effort, and the same for her. But is it effort if he's lying? Is it effort if his mom is coming in and he's not going to introduce her as a girlfriend or as someone who's special to her? I think that's one of the questions.
See, you can only do so much at the end of the day when it comes to a relationship. I mean, clearly he loves her. She also mentions it that he's also very involved in the relationship. He's also doing a lot of things as well when it comes to the whole relationship aspect of it. But if he is not willing to, make that small sacrifice of it's not a small sacrifice. I have to cancel that, but that sacrifice of introducing her as his girlfriend and telling his mom that he's actually not single, that also plays a very big part.
Yeah, because to me, that's effort. That's
effort and standing up for love, basically.
Yeah.
I know it's a very tough conversation to have, but it also depends on where they both are mentally.
As she said, she doesn't like the lying part. Like, she finds it bothersome. I would find it bothersome too, especially for 25-year-olds. Maybe if you were in your teenage years, or you're in high school, you're in college, you have these relationships that are not too serious as of yet. But I think 25, and I'm not saying 25 is old, you're very young, you have so much ahead of you. So please do not feel trapped if you're in this relationship because you feel that there's no other relationship that you can be in. You should leave the relationship if that's the only reason that you're in it for.
No, I'm pretty sure she has a lot of options, but she likes the fact that as well that this has been her longest relationship, and it's one where she's learning a lot about herself, which are also relationships you're supposed to have, in my opinion. It's not always about, I need to find a perfect guy. I would love for you to date multiple people because you really learn a lot about yourself. And I mentioned this previously on the podcast before. You learn a lot about yourself when you date a lot of people, and you start realizing things that you like or dislike in a particular person.
And this is what I have to agree with. Being in a relationship doesn't mean you have to be in it forever. Some relationships come in passing. As you said, you learn something about them, and that relationship serves its purpose. Yeah. And then it moves along, and then you see something else, and then you find someone else, and that other relationship that you'll get yourself into might be the relationship that you'll be in forever, or it might be just another relationship that you learn something new about yourself. So it's not something that needs to be forever. Great, you've been in this relationship for so long. It doesn't mean that it'll be the relationship that you'll be in forever.
So what do you think is the right way to approach this? Should she break up with this guy or just see where it goes? Or if they're both mutually agreed that they'll try to take it as long as they can, and if they're okay with breaking up after that, that should be fine?
I think the first way to go about it, because I don't also understand from her, like, some of the messages seem that she's a little bit nonchalant about things with him, but then some phrases that she says seem that she's really into this guy and she's already falling in love with this guy, and seems like this guy is the one. So I guess first one to determine is this guy the one or not?
Yeah, I think that's the first question she should ask herself. But I think like what you mentioned is true. Like, I'm not trying to throw any shade or hate to this person, but there are quite a few things that did strike out for me. It's especially like our relationship, and then she mentions, which I am pretty surprised lasted this long. And then she mentioned that this is the first one she's met organically, and that she has dated previously, but those are mostly from the apps. But yes, he is supposed to be able to show you off to his parents. I think it's a very big deal. Of course, when I was still younger in my dating years, I would also be very, very casual about it. I'm like, okay, yeah, I don't have to tell my mom every person who I go out on a date with and stuff. But this is a year-long relationship. Of course, there has to be a time where you define the relationship. What are you guys? Are you casually dating? Are you dating for marriage? Are you dating in the hope of something, which I'm pretty sure like this is what's going on over here. But it also comes down to, like, let's say let's say you decide to call it quits. How would both of you feel? Would you both be completely heartbroken, be like, no, I can't find someone else, this is the perfect guy for me? And are you willing to overcome that parent issue that is going on? How are you with your parent as well? Does your parents know this question is directed towards the girl of, does your parents know you're dating an Indian? How are they taking it?
And how is it going? Are you in the same situation as the guy?
Yeah, they seem that they have similar values as well, but it just comes down to...
Yeah, which is good. That's one of the main baselines of having a healthy relationship. Having the same values, having the same things that you believe in, having the same things that you look forward to, friendship, just really understanding one another.
Yeah.
Because that infatuation fades, right? So...
But I'm glad that she addressed this, because this is a topic and a question I've got countless of times, especially when it comes to marrying someone who's Indian.
Yeah.
Because the Indian side there can be a lot of gatekeeping when it comes to like, who are we letting into this family? So yeah, kudos
Asian
to
culture
you
as a whole, because the same for
No, but
Arabs.
Indian, I've seen it. It's so much worse. So much worse. Okay, maybe Arab to the same extent.
Yeah. Don't you think that Lebanese are gatekeepers too?
No?
Really?
Yes.
Really now, with everything that you've experienced?
Yeah, that's true. That's true. But see, for me, I don't know how you're gonna take this, but you're still 25. Just go crazy. Do whatever what makes you happy. This is the prime of your life. Like, if
I
you
have
feel,
to agree with this is the prime of her life. But
if
okay,
you
let's
feel
not go crazy.
No, if this relationship is holding you back, and obviously, like, she seems like she's nonchalant about it, but writing to us seems like this has been something that is on the top of her mind.
Yeah. But can I just say something though? Sorry.
Dog? Yeah, what's up, dog? Of course.
Dog. Where I was getting to earlier is that as I was pointing towards the effort of the guy earlier, I just feel like this guy needs to put in his full effort. She was saying earlier that yes, he puts in the effort, but I don't think he's actually putting in full effort at all. Him not being able to introduce her to his parents mean that there's something that is making him not do it. What is the reason for him not introducing her to the parents? I don't know. Just to me, most of the time we put men in such a special position and we lower down our standards for men, but we shouldn't. Like, why do we always celebrate little feats that men do? Like, oh, my man listens to me. That should be normal. Oh, my man introduced me to his sister. That should be normal. My man took me out on a date. He's so sweet. He bought me flowers out of the blue.
Wow. Kudos to him.
That should be normal. That should be normal. Why is it that women introduce the man to her family early on in the dating sphere or the dating timeline, and the men need to introduce the women further down? Why does it always have to be the woman first?
It doesn't usually happen like that. It happens either way. Like, it could either be the guy introducing him, the girl.
Yeah, but in this case, why is it that the man cannot introduce her?
See, it could be a multitude of reasons. Like, even I've been with girls who I've dated, and I'm like, she's definitely not going to meet my family.
Okay, this is what I'm saying. Do you understand my point?
What?
Why is it that he cannot introduce her? What is the reason? Just as you said. What was your reason for not introducing that particular girl to your family?
So that's the thing. It's like, I need to know more details. Like, I'll just be very honest of what I think right now. He's doing everything he can for the relationship, as she said. He's putting in the effort.
Yeah.
But what's stopping him from reaching that next level of telling his mom
exactly
about what's going on, who he's dating,
He's 25. He's no longer a baby. He needs to stand up to his mom. And I'm not saying that out of disrespect. I have strict parents. I'm coming from the same boat. Okay? I stood up to my parents because I knew what was right.
So I think the first thing should come down is you have to speak about where you guys are and what you want to do.
Because you guys need to be in the same level of putting in the effort, as you said. If you're willing to introduce him to your parents and go the extra mile, then he should be at the same level as where you are at. If not, and there really are circumstances that doesn't allow him to move forward, then there needs to be a timeline as to when that's going to happen.
Perfect. Yes.
You cannot just say, yeah, let's lie for now. Already, that's not a good start to getting into the next level of the relationship. But if there's something, sometimes we'll never know the reasons. Maybe, God forbid, his mom has an illness and he doesn't want her, to feel bad, or he doesn't want her to, I don't know, just thinking on the top of my head. Or like a
fear of Filipinos.
Yeah, I don't know. There must be like a reason. Fear of Filipinos, is that even a thing?
The boogeyman.
Baba Yaga. And so if you've determined whatever that reason is for him not being able to introduce you, except for the other fact that he might not think that you're the one, then...
Yeah, are you willing to have that conversation and just like get it out of the way?
Take off the Band-Aid.
But he is a man of God, she mentions, right? He's active in the church.
Yeah, if he's active in the church, then he needs to tell her.
He needs to put Jesus in the center of his heart. Find out what he really desires in a woman.
Yes. And do not play this girl, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm not putting him in a bad light, okay? It's just how I understood the situation because, again, you're 25. You're no longer, 18. You're no longer 17. You're no longer playing around.
I mean...
You mean what?
25 is still super young.
25 is still super young. Yes, 25 is still super young.
The world is your oyster.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. If that's what you want in life, go for it. But if she wants to be introduced to the parents of this guy, then, and he's not willing to, or he's not, he's not yet ready, then I think it's time to move on.
Judging by this whole question, it seems like they're friends. I think they're better off as friends. Because he said, there's a lot of things that also brought that out. Like, they're saying, they're both putting a lot of effort into it. They like to test each other. She's learning a lot about herself.
That's what I like. That's what, out of this whole thing, that's one thing that I like that she said, is that she's learning a lot about herself. So that's amazing for her.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think you're like, if things don't go right and things don't go in the best case scenario that you wanted it to, I think you two at the end of the day will still be really good friends.
Yeah, it's a good point.
Yeah. Like, you've known each other for a whole year without having any problems with anything. I know there's a lot of stigma when it comes to being friends with your exes, but
I don't
judging
mind
by
that.
the whole situation and how you explained everything,
just as long as it doesn't go sour that you're parting ways because he's not able to introduce you to his parents, and then you should be fine. You should still be friends if you want to.
Yeah.
Yeah. I can't tell you what to do, to be honest.
Yeah. And it's
we're here to give out our opinion.
She actually just wanted to just check and get kuya and ate advice. And I think that's all we can share. You can always, I would love to know who you are. She actually mentioned in the sign off that if you want to impart private knowledge, that is, I'll share my username if you guys confirm on the podcast.
So
cute. Do reach out to us.
Let us know
when this episode comes out.
Let's have some coffee if you're here from Dubai, I guess.
Yeah, most
Filipino,
probably.
Indian, yeah. Let's have some coffee and talk about it, girl.
Yeah. Yeah, I just wish you all the best. See, last final words, Janine and I are just going to reiterate this again. You're super young.
Yeah.
Do what makes you happy as well, but at the same time, still take care of yourself. Like what Janine said as well. Don't lower your bar on the basics that a guy does, which he should be doing. That should just be like an everyday thing. And
yes,
you shouldn't be like, oh wow, this is something I've never experienced before. No, these are things you should be experiencing day in and day out with the perfect guy.
Get yourself a Josh who thinks he's a bad guy, but he's not.
Get yourself a John Wick.
Yes.
You know that guy?
Get yourself a John Wick.
That guy would
kill everyone because...
And he would watch you every day on his mobile.
Yeah.
That's the joke. Yeah, okay, sorry. So yeah, guys. I hope he answered your question, crabs and corn soup.
Crabs and corn. It's just crab and corn. Crabs is something else. Crab and corn soup.
Crab and corn soup. Yes. I actually want some crab and corn soup right now.
That sounds really lovely.
I know they have it in the supermarket downstairs.
Yeah.
Yeah. If anyone wants cat food,
Hey, we're gonna donate that.
Yeah.
Okay, disclaimer: we did not throw everything in that box. We're actually donating it. So
Yes. To cats in need. If you know any cats in need, any feline friends.
we do have some cat food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that was really cool. I know we were all a little bit all over the place when it came to the question today. But there were some things which I think I needed more information about to come to like a final answer. But I think we answered it in the best way that we could.
Yeah.
As a tito and tita.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah?
Yeah. As an ate and kuya.
Yes. Zoe, what do you think?
She's knocked out.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That means you have to
That's
sleep
an
on it,
amazing-
girl.
that's
Think
an-
about it in the morning.
Yeah, sleep on it. And look, we just give our advice, but at the end of the day, it's what you feel
We
that's
could be
right.
wrong as well,
We
yeah.
could be wrong. I mean, we don't have all of the context. We don't have all of the understanding. Again, we might have painted him in a bad light, but he might be a really good person. He might have put in a lot of effort that we don't know, as she said.
No, I don't think we painted him in the bad light. I think we shed light on something that happens like this every time.
We shed light. Let there be light.
Yeah.
Yeah. So if you guys are better off friends, then do it.
I completely agree. Sister.
Yeah. And so if you have any other handy advice, questions, let us know. Send us an email at haveanicedayshow@gmail.com. You can sign off as an anonymous sender through our Google Forms, and all of the links will be in the description. Look us up in Apple. Did you hear her moan?
She's like, enough of this stuff.
Yeah, she's like, can you
Just-
please stop yapping
just
right
go to
now?"
bed.
You can find us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen to your podcasts.
Mhm.
And we're on YouTube, of course. Our bread and butter. What keeps us going. Because we earn so much money from ad revenue,
Dude,
guys.
making so much money right now. Wow. I don't even need to
We
leave the
have-
house
You
anymore.
have no idea how much money we're making through
I can
ad
so much money. I'm putting full
revenue.
tank on my car every time I drive. Yeah.
We
Just
wish.
Swimming in that YouTube
One
money,
day we're
dude.
claiming. Jesus, we claim it.
Get that gold and titanium and silver plaque.
Pluck.
Yeah, the
Okay.
1 million subscriber mark, you know.
Right. Yes.
One day.
One
Joe
day. Oh.
Rogan will ask us to be on his podcast.
Okay. We're claiming it. Yes. Anything else?
That's it, guys. Stay tuned. Next episode, we have a guest.
Yes.
We don't know who,
As
though,
per
but
the usual
we're just waiting for
confirmation.
confirmation, but most probably it's gonna happen. And just a shout out to Ima, who's having her
Show?
show this weekend. Now, yes, when you
21st?
put it up, what's it called? Ima, make laugh
Laugh
with
with
Ima.
Ima.
Yes,
Yes.
Get your tickets, guys, on Book My Show. Please do purchase it right now because it is getting sold out as we speak.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of ticket sales. Really kudos to her. She's doing an amazing job. One of my comedy mentors, someone who's really inspired me to really go the extra mile and pursue comedy. So really big shout out to her. I'll do whatever I can to support her.
And the reason why we met each other.
Oh yes, and the reason why we met each other. So yes. So yeah, if you do come, please do say hi to us at the show.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, that's it. On that note,
Have a nice day.
woof woof.
She looks at us. We love
like
you
that
guys.
We love you as a friend. Bye.
You said that wrong.
What?
We like you as a friend. You said we love you as a friend.
No, I said we like you as a friend.
Okay.
Sorry, Zoe distracted me.